Did you know that the Japanese samurai were just minutes away from pulling off one of the biggest upsets in modern World Cup history? Carlo Ancelotti and his Brazilian squad endured a night of absolute terror. Japan wasn't just playing football, they were executing a tactical chokehold that nearly destroyed the Seleccion's World Cup dream. How did this relentless Japanese press turn into a deadly trap that almost humiliated Brazil? And how did Ancelotti's men miraculously survive in the final seconds thanks to tiny tactical details invisible to the naked eye? Buckle up, because we are diving into a tactical breakdown that will completely change how you view this match. Brazil advanced, yes, but the nightmare began from the very first second. Japan entered the pitch with a ferocious, ultra-aggressive high press using a compact 5-2-3 structure. For the opening 5 minutes, Brazil was completely paralyzed, utterly incapable of playing out from the back. The Japanese structural setup completely shut down the central passing lanes. Japan's narrow front three formed a defensive wall, suffocating Brazil's center-backs and holding midfielders. This forced Brazil to play wide toward the flanks, where Japan's wing-backs were waiting to pounce, aggressively recovering possession time and time again. Eventually, Ancelotti adjusted. Lucas Paquetá began dropping deep into his own half to dictate play. Even though a Japanese midfielder closely tracked him, Paquetá's brilliant ability to turn under pressure created a numerical advantage in midfield, opening up space for Vinicius Jr. to exploit behind the defensive line. Yet Japan's defensive resilience remained staggering. But pressure eventually forces a breaking point, and when it happened, it was a brutal tactical lesson. Japan's opening goal came directly from a shocking Brazilian mistake. Brazil initially won the ball back and played it to Danilo, who had plenty of time and space to carry the ball forward. Instead, he made the worst possible decision, a lazy horizontal pass across the backline. Japan intercepted it instantly and launched a lethal counter-attack, and in this exact moment Brazil's massive vulnerability was exposed. Casemiro's glaring lack of mobility against quick, agile opponents. The Japanese attacker flew past Casemiro as if he weren't even there, unleashing a bullet from 22 meters straight into the bottom corner. Japan took a shocking yet fully deserved lead. Brazil tried to react through constant positional rotations. The center forward dropped deep, and the four attackers constantly rotate to form a diamond sweep, trying to confuse Japan's defensive structure. But Japan was reading the game like a supercomputer. Whenever Brazil involved 4 or 5 players in the build-up, Japan immediately dropped into a highly disciplined 5-4-1 low block to deny them any space. But the moment Japan recognized a 3v3 equal situation in the back, they instantly switched back to their aggressive 5-2-3 press. However, this 5-4-1 structure had a hidden flaw. When a Japanese midfielder pushed up to press, a dangerous gap opened between the lines, allowing Casemiro and Matheus Cunha to combine and progress the attack. In the first half, Brazil's own high press in a 4-4-2 shape was fundamentally broken. Vinicius Jr. initiated the press, trying to use his cover shadow to block passing lanes, but Japan calmly bypassed it with quick short combinations. Casemiro lacked the intensity required to stop them, allowing Japanese midfielders to receive the ball completely unmarked behind Vinicius. Brazil created almost nothing in the first half. But in the second half, Ancelotti changed the entire strategy. Stop forcing it through the middle and flood the box with crosses. Dangerous chances started pouring in. Despite incredible goal line clearances from the Japanese defenders, the relentless pressure finally cleared off. A perfectly delivered cross found Casemiro at the back post, who scored the equalizer to redeem himself. Then, deep into added time, absolute drama unfolded. A relentless Brazilian press caused absolute panic. A Japanese defender hesitated for too long, losing possession on the edge of his own box. The ball reached Bruno Guimaraes, leading to a catastrophic and inexplicable tactical error by Japan's right wing back. Instead of narrowing the passing lane to block Gabriel Martinelli in front of the box, the wingback took 2 steps away from him, tracking Vinicius on the wide flank instead. This fatal decision left Martinelli completely unmarked in the penalty area. He calmly received the pass and fired it into the far corner, completing a thrilling last-minute Brazilian comeback. I wouldn't call this a dominant or exciting performance from Brazil, but they did just enough, using their elite experience and capitalizing on tiny errors to advance to the next round. As for Japan, they leave the tournament with their heads held high. They were easily one of the most enjoyable, disciplined, and tactically brilliant teams to watch, and it is a true shame they had to face Brazil this early. What do you think? Can Brazil go all the way with this style of play? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more.